What's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing awesome. So, I'm super excited to bring you guys a deep dive of Binamon, which is my first official kind of video on this channel. So, it took a while, but hopefully it's useful. So, let's get into it, right? So, before we get into it, just know that this is probably biased and it's not financial advice. I'm just a random dude on the internet. So, this is all speculation. Don't invest more than what you can lose. Assume that you will lose everything and you won't get rich quick. So let's get into it. So before we get into everything, let's get into the team, right? So first question would be, is the team transparent? Do they have trackable past accomplishments? Are they on YouTube doing interviews and stuff? So I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5 as the team has an interview on YouTube, which I'll show right now. So you can look up this video. It's called Interviews by NFT, GG, Binamon, and then they have 4, I believe, of their members talking about the game, and it's pretty informative where they talk about how the game is, what features are coming up like PvP mode adventure. So that's awesome that they're not anonymous. That being said, there's also a developer that's very active on Twitter for the game, so that's awesome too. And besides that, I think there's like no trackable past accomplishments, games they made in the past, or something that I could easily find on their public profiles or on the docs/Binamon page. So I just had to knock off some points there. Second part would be, do they have an awesome community? So I also gave that 3.5 out of 5 as they have lots of guides in the Discord channel. Their mods are very helpful. They have a very active Discord community. So it's mostly clean and family friendly, and they're starting to have YouTube videos pop up. So they're a very new community and they're somewhat strong, or at least they're growing. So I still have to give them positive marks. However, just to take off points as they're so new. The third would be if they have clear GitHub development activity. Is there suggestions/feedback for? So for this, I'm gonna have to give them a little bit of a neutral score, 2.5 out of 5, as the development practice is kind of unclear. However, they do post about it on Twitter, whether that be for PvP, PvE, adventure mode, and they just executed their dungeon runner game, which has been pretty successful. So you get most of their updates on there and on the Discord, and they do have a feedback form. So I think they passed with the bare minimum on this. Fourth one would be, do they have strong institutional backings, sponsorships? So I think this is one of the big red flags of this game. They have kind of unclear investors, or at least it's kind of hard to find them. I think they had some past partnerships like Bakery Swap, or they still have it, and they listed on some other, I believe it was Pancake Swap at once. However, it's a little unclear who's investing in them, and as a crypto game, which is a very high risk, high reward opportunity, it'd be a lot better if there were big investors that were in this game just in case something goes wrong, which they can help bail them out. And it's kind of unclear who is backing them up, so I had to knock off some big points. The last one would be social media engagement, and they are so good at this. Right, so they have amazing presence on Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and various exchanges, and they're growing a lot. They have a content creator program, which is super cool. It's gonna help them grow a lot. However, some people confuse them with Binamon, and they kind of lack Reddit presence. Or I joined the Reddit and it was recently created. I think it was created like a few days ago or maybe a few weeks ago, but they recently allowed me in. I think there were maybe like 3 or 4 posts at that time. So they're growing and they're easy to find on Google. So I had to give them a 5 out of 5 as they're really good on marketing. So total grade would be around a B. They're pretty good. The team is very transparent. They're great marketers. They're starting to form a great community. They have a solid team that is transparent, and they are improving. It's just that the lack of clear investors is such a big red flag that I'm going to have to dock them down to a B. So for the game itself, the first question would be, is it a fun aesthetic game you would play without earning, or lack of gameplay? So the actual gameplay itself right now is a solid dungeon runner where you play for an hour and then you beat various monsters. So actually that's kind of fun as a mini game. So it also has a competitive aspect where you try to get more points than other people, and if you get more points, then you earn more. So it has a great competitive aspect. And PvP and adventure mode is gonna come out later, so we'll see how that goes. So since it's pretty good, we'll have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Second question would be, is it easily accessible? And do they have lower requirements while also being a fun game? So it's currently on the PC and coming out on mobile, so they're working on that very hard. And the graphics aren't extreme. However, for the dungeon runner, you do require a download to play it. So the requirements are not that high, so I have to give them a 4 out of 5 as it is pretty good. Next question would be, is it family friendable? Is it very advertisable? Do they have a specific niche they're going for? So it's very family friendly and marketable, so we give them a 4 out of 5 for that. Next question is the website clean, not glitchy? Are various kinds of people able to read it in different languages? So the main website and document website are very clean. So the NFT Binamon website is somewhat unclear to read. However, it's still pretty clear overall. So, and they have a really good graphics designed within the website. So we'll give them a 4 out of 5. Next question is, do they have a solid roadmap that they're executing well? And here's another big red flag. I couldn't really find a roadmap on the documents page, so maybe it's hidden somewhere, maybe it's listed as a white paper. However, it was actually really hard to find. So maybe it is somewhere. However, most updates are posted on Discord and the website. So if they made the roadmap more public, I think that would help ease a lot of people of their mind. So I'll have to give them a 1.5 out of 5. The next one would be, do they have a well-balanced token distribution? So maybe 10-20% to the team at max, and then no majority holders of one person. So they're very transparent on Binance Smart Chain, the scan, and then a lot of the rewards are distributed mostly to the reward pool or liquidity pool, such as Pancake Swap or Bakery Swap, and everything else is under 1%, which I'll show you right now. Here's the website. I'll post it in the resources down below. So there it is. They're very transparent with it. So that's a good sign to see. The next one would be, do they have great tokenomics? So ideally a limited supply, burning mechanism, vesting period so that the big investors don't sell it off and they don't really rely on new users coming in. They have different features to have current players continue playing the game and to continually reinvest. So 1 to 2% is unlocked monthly with solid liquidity pools, and Binamon is burned every time a monster is created. So that's super cool. So BRNG, which is the energy token used to upgrade your monsters, has an unlimited supply, so maybe it functions like a SLP, and Beyond Z1, its supply is unknown, so that's kind of a red flag. So Bimon's used to create monsters, it's used to create liquidity pools, it has a cap supply of 300 million initially, and then it decreases over time due to it continuously being burned. So the cool thing about Binamon is that as more monsters are created, Binamon appreciates in value, or because more Binamon, or it doesn't actually appreciate in value, depends, but more Binamon is needed to create these monsters, right? So it increases the value of Binamon overall over time. So BRNG, as stated before, used to upgrade your monsters by combining them, and then Binamon Z1, which is necessary to create monsters also for PvE, like the Dungeon Runner, and its supply is unknown, so we'll have to dock some points off of that. And locking there, it unlocks monthly based on the charts. However, it's kind of confusing to read, right? So I have to dock off some points too. However, the really good thing is that they have a 15-day cash out, so you can't grind it out and sell right away. You have to wait 15 days. So this will be a great period or a great time to just let players accumulate and to not sell everything. So the next question is, are they the clear leader or are they undervalued relative to their competitors? So right now they're kind of one of the top 10 Pokemon-like games in the crypto space. So top dog is Axie Infinity by a long shot. Axie Infinity's market cap is around 4 billion, while Binamon's is around 20 million. So it could probably realistically 5 to 10x from here if it gets somewhat as popular as Axie Infinity. So that's a great sign. So we have that at 3.5 out of 5. So do they have any reputable audits? So it's audited by one audit company called Quill Audits. However, it's not audited by those other ones that are well known like Certic. So that's kind of red flags. So I have to give them a 2 out of 5. Next question is, do they have unique, amazing arts? So they have pretty good graphics. However, they have some set character bases that they have used. However, they have mentioned that they will use unique features or designs in the adventure mode. So that's a great sign. So we'll see how they do it. The next question is, if they are new, are the NFTs getting released cheap? Or if they're owed, are they at a massive discount? So the reason for this question is that when you want to play a video game, I think the best approach is to give out as many free NFTs and characters as you can so that you can build a loyal and strong fan base. Then if the game becomes more popular, you make the NFTs more scarce so that more people will want to buy it and then know appreciation value, as opposed to being like quite a lot of these games where they sell off their NFTs like $500, $1,000 like off the bat for just one, which I think is absolutely insane if they didn't even release the game yet. So that's the reason for that question. So it's relatively new. I mean, the token's been out for a couple months. However, the runner game's been released, I believe, for 2 weeks for now. And it's at a massive dip right now due to the overall crypto market selling off. So here are some prices of some Binamon that I have found on the Discord. So right now, it seems that the middle one right here, Class 6 Tax 7, is around $180, and that's a steal. So I might swoop some up and see how the ROI is for that. So total grade, I give it a B+ for the actual game. They have solid gameplay of the Dungeon Runner, along with upcoming PvP and Adventure Mode, and they're coming on mobile, and they have really low graphic requirements. So it's very cost effective compared to Axie Infinity, which is $150 to start, while this one's probably more like $150, $200. So some things are unclear, which may be red flags, like the Binamon Z1 token supply, and they need more audits from more reputable places, and that'll help them. But however, it's been solid over. Alright, third, the spicy one. How do you make money? So the first question is, are they going for a high quantity, low quality approach? Something like Crypto Blades where you have a bunch of accounts, or a low quantity, high quality approach? Maybe something like an Axie Infinity where you try to increase your MMR as high as you can in PvP. Is it scalable, or is it somewhere in the middle where it's not any extreme, which will be pretty bad? So seems like it's going to higher quality routes, as your NFTs are limited to only 1 hour of gameplay per card. So it makes sense to rent out these monsters to scholars and to have the most expensive ones. And then there isn't risk of accounts banning like Axie Infinity, so that's another plus. So you just rent them out and give it to them, and then after they're done for an hour, then that's it. They also have Genesis NFT cards, which I believe you can use in PvP, but you can also stake them on Bakery Swap, and then you get a share of Binamon every day that's being circulated on the game. So it's currently around 14,000, so that's around 2,800 per day. However, you distribute that among the Genesis NFT cards, and I don't know how much there are, so it's around there. So maybe when they update how much APR you gain, then I'll update this guide too. They also have a Dungeon Runner for the Z1 monsters, so it's earned based on points relative to other competitors too, so you also have to know how to play the game. However, upgrading your monsters and having stronger monsters will drastically help you gain more points. As if you attack, you kill them, and then if they hit you, your time gets reduced, right? So the faster you kill them, the more time you'll have, and then you won't have your time as reduced. So you have PvP wagering, as mentioned before, and venture mode incoming through your graphics. So we'll have to see whether the mobile can handle it, or it'll be only PC. Next one is liquidity pools and staking to reinvest rewards. So they have some really good ones, so I'll give them 4.5. They have Binamon Z1 BUSD, which they call it missions, which I'll show you guys right here. These missions are where you lock your liquidity tokens, and then for like 30 days or so, and then you get back APR. So Binamon Z1, and then this one right here. So I like a Binamon, where there's like less room for impertinent loss, and that's 45-day lockup right there. Then let's go back. And then Binamon BUSD, you can also earn BNRG on Bakery Swap 2. And then you can also stake your Genesis NFTs on Bakery Swap for that share of that 15k Binamon daily, as mentioned before. So they have a lot of options with great APY. So they deserve 4.5 out of 5. Alright, next one is, are they scholarship friendly? So they're very friendly, and they have a built-in system to give game pass codes to your scholars. So they deserve a 5 out of 5, as they really tailored towards that. Next one is, do they have a great ROI? So is it 3 to 4 months if owed like a Axie Infinity for scholarship, or is it 1 to 2 months if it's new? As due to it being new, there's a lot more risk, so there needs to be higher rewards to compensate for that. So I'll have to give them a 3 out of 5 for this one, as it's not very clear. However, based on past anecdotes, it's around 2 to 3 months based on some YouTube videos that I've found. So it's pretty good. It's less than the 3-4 months. However, ideally it would have been 1 to 2 months. So maybe it will become 1 to 2 months if Binamon token recovers. However, due to be unclear, we'll have to give it a 3 out of 5. The next one would be flipping NFTs in the market. So most NFTs are sold on Discord, and it's kind of hard to scroll through the official website, or I don't know if they even have the option to look for your desired Binamons besides buying new packs for new Binamons. So even some users created their own websites to compensate for this. So it's kind of simple to look it up. However, it's kind of inconvenient, so I'll have to give them a 3 out of 5. So for ways to earn, I'll give them an A-, as they have really good ways to earn, whether it be playing a game, having rentals for games like scholars, staking not only the tokens but the NFTs, and flipping the monsters. And there's PvP and venture mode coming out soon. Alright, so this is a pretty long video, more than what I'm used to, but let's finish up. So last section is other questions. So are they unique, right? So I'll have to give them a 2.5 out of 5, as they're kind of not unique looking. They're kind of like other Pokemon games too. However, and also other games are starting to be scholarship friendly too. So they're kind of not that unique. So hopefully they find their own way to stand out. Future outlook for the next question. The marketing team is solid. They have a growing community. The development team is executing really well. It's just that the token outlook is somewhat concerning, as it's been dipping harder and harder, and then with the really big APYs for the liquidity pools, and then for the staking, and then along with the constant sell-offs, it's kind of a red flag, but we'll see how it goes. Next question is adversity history, and the game is pretty new, so there's no big exploits yet, so we'll see what happens. Fourth one, possible game failure scenario, so 2.5 out of 5. As mentioned before, the token can depreciate, PvP and venture mode can not be that successful, maybe new people stop pouring in as new games come out, like Monsters Clan. The fifth one is price action technical / key levels to keep track of. So hard supports are listed there, and it's currently hovering near the hard support at 0.16. So it's still a risky opportunity. However, this is one of the more safer times to enter if you did want to enter this game. Alright, last question. It's, would you personally share or recommend this game? So would recommend to someone that's more kind of well off. They have money they're willing to lose, as the game has a lot of high potential, but also has a lot of risk, right? So they have a great team, and those are the benefits I stated before. However, due to crypto gaming being so new, they are at risk for exploits and massive sell-offs and users hopping onto different games, because most people have a short attention span. So if better and better games come out, maybe from an Activision or Blizzard or something, then they just hop on to that one, and then those studios can afford to give out more NFTs, more free features, and stuff like that. So for this, I give a C+ for this section, as the game has lots of potential. However, it hasn't proven itself over a long time, so it's a high risk, high reward opportunity, especially at this great dip opportunity. So personally, I'll probably try out maybe 1 or 2 Binamons, give them out to scholars, see how they like it, and then go from there. So final closing thoughts. I'll give it a B overall. It's a pretty solid opportunity, like a B in my opinion. It's a high risk, high reward opportunity, and there's a great dip, so it's kind of like, oh, why not? And it's pretty cool that they're very transparent. They're on YouTube and stuff. It's just that maybe they don't have as much experience, so then they're not as open, or they don't share other documents that are needed to kind of soothe the investors. And the lack of big backers and continuous token sell-offs are a big red flag. However, we'll see if that approach works or not. So thank you guys for watching the video. Here are resources in the video, the script, which I'll link below. Then if you want to support the channel beyond this, here are certain ways you can do it. You can read more about them below, some of my favorite brokers and etc. And again, these videos are for entertainment purposes. I'm not a licensed professional. The best investments are the ones where you have the greatest conviction in doing your own research. So maybe you could use this as like a starter guide that might have piqued your interest in Binamon, and maybe if it interests you, you can research on your own to see if you like it or not. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a pretty lengthy video, and yeah, I'll look forward to doing more of these, as I really want to dive deep into these games and then to really figure out their fundamentals to help give more informative information to you guys. Informative info. I don't even know if that makes sense, but talk to you guys next time.